Hey everyone. So tonight I'm going to do a reading. I've got a whole bunch of animal decks and some divine feminine, nature, elemental, kind of nature-based decks, and water oracle type decks. This week I've been connecting a lot to or thinking a lot about the whales, and also a lot the Lyrans, my cat family, animals in general, animal guides. You know, the birds have just been so massive for this past year, and been loving getting out into the bush, into nature lately. And you know, the trees it's the whole nature thing's talking to me, and I really feel that connection is, the Lyrans have that a massive nature connection. Obviously a lot of our star family do, but I'm sensing, and I kind of asked my Lyran contacts, my Lyran family, to assist me with this, and so we're going to put the dots together. But basically I have been swimming a lot lately, and water is just so freaking amazing. The connection with water. I even saw something on Gaia today about communicating with water, and I absolutely feel like I've been doing that. It's kind of like this automatic kind of thing. If you're really tapped in while you're in water, I think it's like crystals and stones, nature in general. It's like if you're tapped in, it's like you're absorbing the wisdom. And if you go next level on consciously communicating with them, it's just then, next level again, connection and wisdom coming through. Early on, when I was first having a really big breakthrough, 18 months ago or something, I connected with the whales, and I just had this automatic kind of knowing that they were extremely intelligent, conscious beings, and that our star family have communicate with them, and that they're massive, really big anchors for high frequency, dolphins, whales, all that kind of thing. Orcas are high potent, high energy frequency holders on Earth, and it was just this automatic knowing, and it was crazy. And I started listening to whale song, and I swear to God, it was not that I consciously knew that what they were saying, but it's almost like this one that I was listening to, I swear to God, it was the whale was telling a story, and it was a funny story, and it was just, I just had this kind of knowing, how you get that, and I just thought it was really beautiful. And also during one of my when I was seeing a lot of stuff, when I was using mushrooms and that to encourage some visions, I had this beautiful vision of a whale you know, like swimming right in front of me, and the eyeball was like right here, and it was just like looking at me, and it was really beautiful. And so I'm leading up to this kind of meditation that just kind of came to me one day, and I just wanted to share it because I thought it was kind of really beautiful. So basically, you know, you can make it your own, but I just kind of got, you know, the idea, or they kind of encouraged me to share it because it is a really nice one. And I didn't know this at the time, but since I kind of did this kind of just meditate, I don't meditate much, hey, but sometimes I just start visualizing, especially when I'm going to bed at night. Like, I just start visualizing in order to see where I can go, and this was one of those times. Anyway, I didn't know at the time, but apparently there are like space whales, like astral whales, that can take you into the astral realm. I didn't know that at the time, but this is kind of what my meditation is. So basically I start off in a rowboat. So I imagine myself in a rowboat by myself, and it's like nighttime on really calm water. And you know, I get myself, obviously I don't overthink it, I'm just in a really beautiful space, like the stars above me, really calm water. I'm feeling secure with I'm not scared at all, obviously, you know, so you don't overthink it. You just think, all right, I'm in a rowboat, a beautiful calm sea, you know, all the stars above me. It's just absolutely stunning. And I start slowly rowing, and so this first bit is me, you know, rowing this boat until I get into this calm state within my mind, and I fully am imagining it. And then once I'm in that calm state and I've gone through that process of rowing myself into that calm state, I'm in the moment, then I put the oars down and the boat, you know, is then rowing itself type thing. Or you're just cruising, you know, whatever you decide you want to do. And then I'm just relaxing in the boat. And, you know, the boat's cruising across the surface type thing, really calm. And so that's the next level relaxation. So once you know, you're in that zone, then I imagine the whales coming, or a whale, your whale guide. So you start feeling that connection. You know your whale is coming up to see you. So then in your imagination, however you want to picture it, you know that your whale friend is about to come up. And then however you want to imagine it, you know, the whale comes up and you start communicating. Imagine, you know, a bit like Avatar, like you can communicate with it, whether you're, you know, have a chat or whatever, you know, completely up to you. Just bring in your whale buddy, and then you decide what you want to do with the whale. With me, I have gotten like in the water with the whale. I have gotten on the back of the whale and just cruised on its back, like laid down on the back of the whale until I'm comfortable in that zone. Like that's next level. And then, you know, kind of gelling with the whale. And then I have imagined going under the water obviously being able to, you know, breathe underwater. The whale helps you do that type thing, however you want to imagine it again. And then, you know, you can swim under the water with the whale, have more of a chat and do that. And then, like, sometimes, like, I've fallen asleep at that point, or whatever, like, completely up to you. But this one time we ended up leaving the water and actually then swimming into space, and the whale, you know, helped me do that. So it was like the water turned into the astral, and then we started flying into the astral, and the whale was like my guide type thing. And then we became more ethereal than physical, like we were on the sea. But yeah, I just wanted to share that because it was, for me, it was like a really beautiful visualization in order to connect with an animal guide, especially a whale guide. I think there is a lot of wisdom there, and it's interesting what pops up when you start visualizing these types of things. I guess if you have more of a connection with dolphins or orca or whatever, like you could do it with any animal. I've got a big connection with like black panthers or big cats, and so I tap into those sometimes as well, like to really feel into that energy. But yeah, anyway, I want to share that kind of visualization because I was really, I mean, the whales have been coming through heaps lately, even to the point like each time I've gone out to the bush and I've seen the big granite outcrops, they've been looking like whales. Yeah. So yeah, I wanted to share that. So the first deck that I'm going to start with is the Water Temple Oracle deck, and I thought I would do Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine one again. And yeah, so I'm going to start with that, and then I'm going to pick a bunch of different animal decks for each, for the masculine and feminine, and see what comes up. And I guess it's just kind of like a general masculine feminine reading, and you can get out whatever you like from it. I guess we might find out when, you know, just current energies, getting kind of on where we are on our healing journeys, maybe. Oh yeah, okay, so which animals we could be working with each of us at the moment, and which ones are in which animal spirits are working with us at the moment to give us that healing energy on both sides, and we'll see what comes through. So we'll get should we do ladies first today? Ladies first today. That's a lot of cards for the ladies. We'll just get one. split the deck, huh? Goddess Bridget. And for the males, Water Temple. Alright, so Goddess Bridget's 22. Spark, my eternal flame glows brightly. And for the men, we've got 17, Water Temple, Devotion. I bow to the sacred water of life. I'll just read these ones because they'll kind of be the general gist, I think, of what's going on with us at the moment. Ignite, inspire, catalyst. Bridget's eternal flame turns any dread, doubt, or worry that prevents you from realizing your potential into a puff of smoke. Invoke her flame to consume everything that no longer serves your enlightened and passionate spirit. Goddess Bridget will also help you live a more meaningful life by kindling possibilities. A flicker of insight can light an inner spark and energize you to follow any idea, hunch, or dream. See where it takes you. Fire and water embody complementary energies. Rain can dampen the earth so that fires cannot ignite. Reflect on anything dampening your spirits and repurpose that energy to extinguish any flames of despair and wet the grounds of doubt. Ignite a glimmer of hope and let it light the way forward. A single idea can spark a continuous current of possibilities. Surrender to the pure joy of your passions and allow faith in action to light your way toward a fulfilling purpose. Consistent and focused movement toward your dreams will bring you to the treasures you seek. Bridget means exalted one. She is a dawn goddess of spring, fertility, poetry, smithcraft, healing, and transformation. Her water shrines in Ireland remain well preserved and lovingly maintained. As a triple goddess, Bridget personifies and celebrates 3 seasons of the divine feminine, maiden, mother, and crone. She is the alchemist, protectress, and goddess of the sacred flame. Her light of love burns away limiting beliefs, uneasiness, and sabotaging patterns that avert you from your divine potential. Call on this fiercely loving goddess for protection, alchemy, and strength, and you will feel her powerful presence. Oh, Bridget, she's been big with me. From the beginning, she seems to come through heaps for me, and she's got that black cat behind her there. That message is a lot very similar to the message I was getting in my last video, the 2 videos I did last night, the channeling that I was getting. So just coming through again. And for the masculine, Water Temple, Devotion, dedicate, embody, practice. The element of water represents unity. We are all one, flowing to and from the same source. On festival days in Bali, the community comes together as one. It is a colourful sight to behold. Baskets of vibrant fruit, flowers, and intoxicating incense adorn the temples and line the streets. Ceremony can bring us home to the heart of connection and meaning. Becoming one with universal love through dedicated spiritual practice, sacred ceremony enhances clarity, harmony, and your connection to spirit. When you embody spirit, you embrace the everlasting soul within. We are human and divine, a body temple and an eternal spirit. The body houses infinite wisdom, pleasure, and endless possibilities. You can experience deep bliss by developing a meaningful relationship with yourself as a human expression of the divine. Bless your sacredness through heartfelt ritual and celebration. Located throughout Bali, Hindu water temples are sacred sites of spiritual practice and worship. The sacred springs are believed to hold purifying and restorative properties. Visitors from all over the world come to these water shrines to appreciate their natural beauty and bathe in the mountain water, Create your own bathing or showering ritual to experience rejuvenation, purification, and unity. Visualize, sense, and trust the living light of love as it cleanses and replenishes your whole being. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's kind of saying, like, the masculine is really to tap into the divine nature, and that the embodiment of pleasure and connecting with nature. It's such a beautiful and easy kind of, like, it's very earthy, not too la-di-da, you know what I mean? Like connecting with nature, and connecting with your feminine as a masculine. It doesn't have to be you know, woo-woo and feminine, but, you know, a man can tap into his inner divine spirit, that connection through nature, through the elements, through the ground, through water, you know, through animals. It doesn't have to be a girly girl experience, you know, to connect with your divine, you know, higher self type thing. That's what I kind of got from that one. Alright. I've got these white light oracle cards, so we'll get one of those for the feminine first. See what we need to know. Cupio Dissolvi. It's really pretty cards, these ones. And for the masculine, that, like, it really looks like the, you know, the lights coming out of a chest. They're like the heart on fire. They've really been coming through. Oh. Got it. And for the men, we've got Obadiah. And I guess that looks like it's really coming out of the crown. That one. We'll see. Cupio Dissolvi. It is time to let go. Things are working out in their own way. Trust that your heart is wise and is leading you on a soul healing journey and the right spiritual path. Spirit wants to bring you a blessing and resolution, but you must let go and allow it to happen. Events are unfolding according to a high plan. Even if your plans are going awry, know that all will come together at the right time and in the best way possible. Surrender your struggle and hold on to your faith. Yeah, that kind of message has really been coming through a bit lately. So number 2 and number 3. Obadiah. Do not turn away from your path, nor from what you know in your heart to be true. No matter what appears to be, nor what logic may dictate, trust what your heart is telling you. You are safe and protected by spirit. You are spiritually empowered with all you need to manifest your authentic soul path. You have what it takes to connect with the light and live that connection in a practical way, which contribute positive energy to our human collective. That's really nice, because that is kind of like a more masculine vibe message. I can imagine that, you know, a lot of guys do, especially, you know, if they're not spiritual kind of guys, but they're just, you know, getting into it, they're waking up, and yet not that interested in this whole woo-woo vibe type spirituality, but they are becoming awakened men, like awakened divine masculine men, and you know, there are so many men out there that aren't interested in this kind of spirituality, but that doesn't mean that they can't be divine masculine men. And, you know, like, that was just a nice message saying that, you know, to trust that you are becoming divine masculine. You know, it doesn't have to look a certain way. You make it yourself just by, you know, finding that connection within you and what it means for you. And that is perfect. Like, that is, you know, you just getting in touch with you and your connection to your higher self and, you know, nature, spirit, whatever, you know, you consider it to be, whatever works for you. And, you know, by doing that, you are on your divine path. I think, you know, a lot of us get kind of confused and frustrated and just a little bit lost when we start waking up and becoming more enlightened. Like, does it have to look a certain way? And no, you find what works for you. And there's so many different ways to tap in, and that's the beautiful thing about it. Really just you being you and you following what feels right for you, tapping in any way that taps you in, and embracing that, and sharing it, because the more ways we share how it's possible to tap in and find the inner you and find your connection, the more opportunity for others to use your method. Like, it's all about finding the best method for you, and then there's more options for other people that are on the same journey type thing, you know what I mean? And I think this is it's going to be such a big thing for a lot of men going forward, with, you know, people becoming more you know, woke, especially the masculine collective. And, you know, they're really going to need a lot of support from the masculine collective, from each other, to devise new methods to tap into the divine masculine. You know, it is up to the guys to find these methods that work for them. And it's a really beautiful thing that's all really starting to happen now. There's, you know, that many more men's groups and men sharing their journey, so other men can, you know, get on board and get some ideas on how they can do it for themselves. And that is also really great for women to witness, that men do things differently. Women do things differently, men do things differently, and it doesnn't have to be exactly the same. It doesn't have to look exactly the same. We all just need to do our things differently. And by seeing the way men do their journey, it's such a learning experience for the feminine as well, and really fucking inspiring, and brings, you know, that much more respect and awe for each other, I would say, when you just freely follow your own paths and see how beautiful they each are for the, you know, each other, and not, you know, try and say, you know, you got to do it my way, or blah blah blah, because the beauty is in our differences, and then witnessing each other's beauty, you know what I mean, the differences. Yeah. What next? We'll do this one and then move on to some animal ones, I think. So this one's Medicine Heart. Really pretty cards, these ones. They are the shamanic wisdom of the divine feminine. So I'm not sure, you know, obviously it still relates to men, because, you know, they're currently healing their feminine or you know, they've got a feminine side to heal and to embody as well. So let's see what comes out. The ladies. Alright, we got nest at the north. There's some birds, there's a key there as well. 38. And for the men, sacred law of the Northwest. A bunch of koalas and roses. Big gold disc behind it too, like the sun. I've got two other cards popping out. Which one's for the men? Second sight for the men. So we've got two each. So it looks like there is an owl and a wolf, or two wolves. It looks like an owl and a wolf, maybe. And macaw and cacao. So nest at the north. For the women, we've got north is the power place of potential. It is the home of what is yet to be, of what can manifest according to our choices and divine timing. This is the realm of the future and the divination of that future. Predictions can be empowering if one sees them as indications of potential rather than fatalistic eradicators of free will. In this realm, we gaze into the future to search for what our current choices will likely yield, and then consider if we need to evolve in our approach to life. Cultivate the most inspired vision for your future. What inspires and energizes you at a soul level? Create a safe space within your soul to nest that vision and give it time to develop. Your future shall bring forth a spiritual gift that will open the door to your divine destiny. Kind of similar to that, to the other one as well, you know, like, you know, go with your flow, but don't control, you know, let it go and your abundance will come in. So I'll read the macaw one for that as well. Macaw and cacao. Within you shines a radiant spiritual power of vibrational resonance which can attract all good things into your life. Make peace with your experience and expression of power, aligning yourself with your heart and knowing that as you enrich your interiority, your inner self, with sacred practices to support your soul, you will imbue expressions of power with compassionate wisdom. It is spiritually safe for you to be empowered, and you can be so with consciousness and kindness. Earth Mother is generous and provides your soul with opportunity, means, and method through which your true self will actualize for the spiritual benefit of all beings. Use your power to flow rather than force, and you will rally tremendous support for rapid manifestation. Again, it's very, very similar. You know, embody your divine feminine and just embrace it with the joy and peace and beauty and connection, and you and everything else will flow from that. You really don't have to force if you're, you know, just in that energy. Yeah. Alright, so we'll go to the men. We'll start with number 5, second sight. Second sight is the spiritual vision of clairvoyance of the soul. Your vision of a situation may not yet be completely clear, but your soul knows how to remedy that. Be willing to look beneath the surface and sense the truth. Such knowledge is a karmic birthright, for the answers to all questions are provided as an expression of spiritual grace. Know that you are blessed with spiritual guides and soul guardians who are looking out for you. When you are ready to receive it, you will be gifted with the knowledge of what is true and what to do. I'm just getting like, for the guys especially, you know, so many of them have just, the logic mind, the thinking mind has just been really rammed into them so much more than it has women. And, you know, trusting your inner voice, your intuition, it must be that much harder for them, you know, because it is just it's a gut instinct, gut feeling without any outside kind of proof, like, and sometimes it's not really logical. And but this, you know, this is saying that, you know, you have that connection and there is wisdom in it. Wisdom of intuition is spirit wisdom, and you can trust your high, you know, it is your higher self, your intuition. Your higher self will not steer you wrong. So learning to trust that, you know, learning to trust that is a journey. I've gone through that, like, but you just have to keep reminding yourself that it is you. It is the all-knowing you trying to get you on your path that they know you know that you want to be on, without, you know, all these, the 3D kind of programming bullshit that, you know, we get kind of stuck in. So learning to follow your magnet and your, you know, inner intuition. Guys have it too. If you're, you know, you're starting to connect with your inner self, your higher self, that is your spirit, that's higher self, that is your, you know, your intuition, your animal instinct. We're animals, we have it, you know, just think it's your beast instinct. Your beast knows what to do. Like, however, the guys need to embody that kind of stuff. You know, work out how do you start thinking about it from a masculine perspective. Like, there's got to be, you know, so many different ways you can logically understand it as men. I don't know, to really connect with it that much more and start following it in your own masculine way. And then we've got Sacred Law 41. The soul recognizes the choices that will facilitate alignment with its authentic path and the spiritual dimensions from which it originates. Such integrity is not externally motivated but internally driven. At a certain stage on the path, the soul will no longer rely on societal beliefs as the best barometer for conduct and will cultivate a more mature, spiritually aligned inner code that resonates with its particular understanding of sacred law. To find your way through any matter of concern, take your time to reflect upon your choices until you sense that which resonates with your heart. Many blessings as yet unseen will flow as you remain in alignment with your soul's inner code. It's exactly what I was just saying, like, you working out, you know, the masculine working out how he links the mind and heart together in order to follow the heart, because you know, we do have to kind of rationalize and understand it in order to start the trust process, in order to follow it. And yeah, like getting to the point where you understand that it is your core self that is trying to guide you to what you want for the best life for you. And you know, when you can work out what it is, and you can start like communicating with it and trusting it type thing to follow the path that you want to be on, and you know, start breaking those you know, all that programming away, start shedding all those old layers, old belief patterns, old thinking patterns, in order for you to keep, you know, guiding yourself in this way, in a heart-based, connected way, and trusting that even though you don't know what's going to happen, like you've had, you know previously, like if I do this, do that, I know the results. When you start down this path, you don't exactly know what the results are going to be. You know, it is the path less traveled, right? You are creating your path from scratch, like so you, but if you you know, start getting that trust and understand that you've got your own back, and when you start following this inner guidance system, your inner magnet, it knows like everything type thing. So no matter what, it's not going to guide you wrong. And if shit happens, it's for you to build up other strengths that you need in order to get you where you do want to be, are going to go. So like, there are no mistakes when you're on this path, and learning to trust that. You know, it does feel like rocky ground type thing, but it is for the best. Like you are becoming your true self and connected to your highest self. You're more you than you ever like have been type thing when you start following this. Yeah. So that's that one. I haven't lost my drink. Alright. Next. Alright, we'll do Priestess of Light. It's another beautiful deck, this one. This is what I kind of imagine, you know, a blending of like the Lyran kind of ancestry type thing, very tribal type, hella connected. Yeah. Alright, for the feminine. So clearly where the feminine is working on embodying our higher self, but not controlling any outcomes of just, you know, going with the magnet and trusting that, you know, what being the magnet, the feminine magnet, that what you want is going to come to you. It's being drawn to you. So just do you. And the masculine is seems to be learning to trust, you know, that inner voice, the spiritual connection that, you know, they're developing. Alright, the feminine's got death and rebirth, darkness to light. Just there with their Black Panthers, embodying the black cat energy. So yeah, you know, we have embodied the divine feminine, and you know, I've heard it in a few different readings. Like, there's so many of us divine feminines that have really, we've gone that next level of letting go of the control, and and really come more fully within ourselves, and more secure within ourselves, with that, through that death rebirth phase. We've birthed ourselves anew, like, again. And we've got innovation, new creations. So yeah, creativity, new ideas, new wisdom coming through as well. Like even just from my videos last night, it's like there is a lot of wisdom ready to come through, especially from, you know, like the old school, old priestess teachings, Atlantis, Lyran, you know, because we've started to fully embody ourselves and really tap in and connect, and enough people are doing that, it's like the wisdom's ready to come through. And so, you know, all this new stuff, new ideas and everything, that's ready to, I mean, it's started, like it's coming through now, like all this old wisdom. And balance, stability, standing firm. Yeah, and that's just, you know, that next level confidence, like that we've stepped up, of like, we know that we're on our path, and, you know, we're embodied in our feminine, and, you know, we know where we're going. Like, we know what's happening. One more. Touching earth, planting something new. He's got wings there. Getting ready to seed again. Yeah, so these new ideas. Maybe, you know, maybe even going down new paths. Like, maybe there's a lot of us that are changing directions now that we've gotten to this point. All right, for the men. We've got earth magic, fearlessness, removing obstacles. There's a big sun behind it again, like in that sacred law one. Earth magic, fearlessness, removing obstacles. You know, I think the guys are at that point where they're making those massive changes in order to follow their path and be able to step into the path that will allow them to more fully connect with their higher self. And, you know, sometimes major life changes have to happen in order for you to give yourself the space to be able to go that next step of actually connecting more with yourself and starting to follow your path. Courage. Look at this. Wow. Strength, fierceness, family. The big man lion. So we got courage and fearlessness, strength, fierceness, removing obstacles. shamanic journey, purpose, attunement, vision quest. And then like they had a massive sun, now they got the massive moon. So, you know, embodying their divine masculine, divine feminine within themselves. I mean, it's beautiful, really. Like, they are, it's like pretty much saying they're blending themselves, they're becoming balanced and fully, you know, embodying their true divine selves and making the changes necessary. What else we got? Deep emotions, unknown feelings, past life influences. I mean, like, all that stuff comes up. The amount of stuff that comes up when you really blend yourself and you go through this awakening, there is so much that comes up for you to heal that doesn't even feel like yours, and yet you process it. It's like you have to process it for everyone. Some of the stuff, like the visions and dreams that I was getting, were absolutely insane and really traumatic. Like, some of it wasn't nice at all, but by seeing that and like it coming up, you're able to really go really deep, do some really deep healing that doesn't seem to be from this life, but it's like hardcore. Like, for me, I had really terrible dreams about you know, women being abused or children being killed, or like really, or children being abused, even, like, you know, sexual abuse. Like, I haven't experienced that myself in this life, and yet all this stuff was coming up, and it's like I had to like process it and heal it. And there must have been something in me. I mean, obviously the pain body of the feminine and pain body of children, of, I guess, the pain body of the underdog, the one that gets really unfairly treated and attacked and abused. Like, it was kind of that kind of vibe. All this stuff was coming up, like terrible stuff, and it was really confronting. But I understood that there must have been some really big ideas that, not necessarily in my life, but the big ideas that like affected me from hearing about it or seeing it or whatever, that I had to heal within myself, and I had to put it to rest. And so some really big stuff does come up, and you know, the for the masculine to fully heal and be fully embody, I mean, you do have to look at the big picture masculine pain body, and you know, to look at the masculine pain body, shame body, guilt body, you have to look at the feminine pain body. You got to look at both sides, and you got to heal both sides. Like, the feminine have to do it with the men too. And you know, let's face it, we've all been men and women in our past lives. We have been the perpetrators and we've been the victims. We've been on every angle of it. And you know, you can't get away from the fact that during this, you know, the awakening ascension type journey, you literally have to heal every angle, understand every angle, in order to come to the sweet spot of the healed in the middle. You know, like, if it's the ball, like the disco ball, even, like, you know, and you know, every facet on the outside is a different experience of the masculine and feminine. You've got to look at every single different facet possibility, because you to become a whole human being, to be healed, you've got to get yourself into the sweet spot in the middle. And to do that, you've got to look at every angle to heal it. And as you heal it, it's like you come into the center to be balanced. You know, you can't not look at it, because if you don't look at one side, you're going to be unbalanced still. You know what I mean? If it's like, if you think of, you know what I mean? Yeah, so like, yeah, deep emotions, it can be quite confronting for all these emotions to come up, like so much childhood stuff. And God, I mean, a lot needs to be felt in order to let it go. And abundance, fortune, wealth, plenty. You know, and this is what happens when you become balanced in the middle. Then it is like, you know, that sweet spot is like, you know, when all the locks come undone type thing on the safe. Like I was talking about, like the Stargate portal, once you're balanced in the middle, it's like, you know, everything opens up and your magnet just draws in what is for you, and then everything starts to happen. So I mean, shit, that's nice. Telepathy, transmission, perception, communication. That's nice that just came out. I mean, I was done and I kept shuffling, because I absolutely believe that when, you know, a divine masculine and feminine are healed and connected, when, like, for example, whether you consider it twin flames or just a deep spiritual connection, like true love, like a divine love, divine connection, what counterparts, whatever you want to call it, then this, you know, when you start getting tapped in and your clairs start coming online and you're in a relationship, telepathy. I swear I've started, you know, experiencing that and really tapping into the masculine collective, masculine energies. And, you know, I do believe my masculine as well. And it is super freaking weird and cool. And like, I look forward to freaking playing with that, to be honest, and really seeing how far a couple can connect with each other. It's really cool. Alright, so time wise it's getting on, so I'm going to test spirit and pick out a number of animal cards and see if what comes up for each. See if we get some double ups. This one is the Divine Animals Oracle. So for the feminine, we'll start with. We've got the wolf, authenticity. And for the masculine, Jaguar, release. It's like, you know, Jaguar has got your back. Like, that is your beast. That's your, you know, inner self. We've got dog, companionship for the ladies. Oh, funny, the wolf and the dog for the ladies. Maybe that's, you know, that's our next level, you know, confidence that we've gained our masculine side. Like, we've tapped into the security of our own masculine side through, you know, the companionship, the dog and the wolf authenticity. You know, the more masculine type aspect of our natures, you know, to lead, to guide, and to watch our back type thing, be our own friend, support ourselves, you know, emotionally, and that's more of our masculine side as women. And the guys have got sea turtle, stability. Looks like there's a little kid on the back of that sea turtle, and again, it's like, you know, your inner child, you know, your higher self is there to protect your inner child, so, you know, you can feel that support and protection from your higher self. You don't, and you know, that's where the trust, you know, comes into it. I think you take your home everywhere you go. Alright, this is a different deck, so we'll see what comes out for the ladies. We've got honeybee. Let compassion and forgiveness be your top priority in this situation. And ladybug. This is a time of good fortune and abundance, so be willing to receive all good things in your life. And condor. You're too enmeshed in this situation, so step back and see the bigger picture before making any decisions or taking action. All that is kind of similar to that. Just trust and let go, and just do you and what you want, or, you know, don't try and control or force the situation. It'll come in. And, you know, you're a little lucky ladybird. So just trust that. Alright, what's for the guys? Shark, trust your instincts to discern the truth of the situation. Very similar to the other ones. And Wolverine, you're a lot tougher than you think you are. You trust yourself, you can do it. Kiwi, do a walking meditation each day for the next week. I think that's kind of similar to, you know, allow yourself to develop a routine around connecting with your, you know, your heart, your inner self, your higher self, spirit, nature. Like, give yourself that gift. Like, you know, you do have to make time, you do have to make the changes to do it, but. And the zebra, let go of your fear and know that you are safe and protected at all times. Again, it's the same. It's the courage, the fierceness. Trust yourself. Yeah. Alright, for the ladies. Spider spirit, make your dreams real. Looks like one of those little dancing spiders. Get your groove on. Have a dance. Make your dreams real. Oh, and the chameleon spirit. Act as if. You're embodied. You've done it, you know, like just enjoy where you're at and it will come. Flamingo, embrace the in-between. Very much, you know, enjoy the moment, because that's where it is. Oh, and the panther spirit, reclaim your power. 44, Black Panther, Black Cat energy, ladies. You know thyself, know thy worth. Whenever I feel like I'm spiraling again and questioning everything, you know, the minute I tap in to a freaking Black Panther, you know, this is the beauty, the wisdom of the animal spirits, because it is such a fucking good reminder to remember what your true embodied feminine feels like. Black Panther, for me anyway. Alright, for the men. Dear Spirit, bring a gentle touch. Be gentle on yourself as well, like, you know, it is a lot to go through. Oh, beautiful. We've got Hawk Spirit, Horse coming through. Let Spirit be your guide. You know, Spirit, your higher self, does have the bird's eye view. Like, if you're getting messages, you know, give it a go, trust it. Some beautiful mandalas in these as well in the top there. Light language, downloads. Oh, 22, Dragonfly Spirit. Truth transcends illusion. Beautiful. He's got a crown on him there. Blue dragonfly. Yeah, I mean, the inner truth is just going to keep coming up within you, you know. It'll just keep coming until you accept that, you know, it is the truth. It'll always come out over, you know, the lies or manipulations or, you know, the illusions, old programming that is, you know, not your truth. And Dog Spirit, be loyal to what you love. Number 19. For the ladies, some final messages, I think. Opportunity, the woodpecker and the bee knocking on the door. Transformation. Yeah, feel that empowerment, being that luminous humanist. Feel the rainbow, embody the rainbow, spread your wings, sing. One more for the ladies. Evolve into your complexity. Embrace all parts of yourself. You know, it doesn't just have to be the one way. You know, this octopus has 8 legs and 2 eyes plus a 3rd eye plus a higher self's eye. You know, that's 4 eyes and 8 legs. It doesn't have to look just one way. And embrace changes happening. Embrace the fact that you want to do freaking 20 different things if you want to do 20 different things. You know, embrace the unique you and all the different aspects of yourself. Alright, for the men, we've got self-love, little piggy sitting on some coins. Pigs might fly. Worth, love, value, respect. Claim your power, tiger. Ooh. And get out of your head. And there is a rooster on top of his head. The rooster is crowing. It is time to wake up. And, you know, shake your tail feathers, cocky-doodle-doo. It also looks like Target behind him, like 3 best shot, you know. And nourishment while waiting. Then we've got prayer answered on the back, and there's a little heart with a bumblebee with a little bee in it and a buffalo, and prayer. It's like receiving, giving. So there's a big buffalo and a bee and a heart. I mean, it's like the love of the hive mind giving you the wisdom of the buffalo to freaking hammer through that storm. And, you know, prayers answered. You will get through and you'll be wiser for it. And, you know, just put your head down, push through, and you'll get through a lot quicker than if you know, stay stuck in your head. focus on the big picture. So there's hawk, you know, keep that hawk-eye view. There's the lantern, the lighthouse with the eye on the bee, and the bee is crowned, so the queen bee is in, you know, the lighthouse light. And, you know, I guess just focus on that. And immense growth. And that's the what do they call that again? The golden ratio. The spiral of life, the golden ratio. It kind of reminds me of the golden egg light which was coming through last night. Alright, I'm just going to get some for the couples out there. So we'll join it to finish it off. So for those in a relationship, for the lovers, for the connections between masculine and feminine, we've got the sun, faith. Keep the faith. Anything else? Find the right ones. Thirsty. Yeah, there is some thirst going on. Listening, dolphin, sending those sonar signals out to each other. We're getting the picture. Calling in our mates. Eagle vision coming through again. Keeping the, you know, the big picture in mind. I'm gonna be having the eye on the prize. Coming in for the meal. A rainbow beauty. Dandelion healing. Making wishes too. Oof. It had fire intensity. She'll be burning. Resurrection, lotus. It's beautiful. Adaptability, moss. And the waves, ocean waves. Motion of your ocean. And honeybee community. And on the bottom, crystal quartz focus. Number 8. Clarity. We've gotten from, I talked about this in my last video, the, you know, this dense cracked stuff down here, and bing, clarity. Just focused on getting to that clear clarity point, you know. life, blood, water, water, waterfall, wisdom of the water, persistence, intuition, and tobacco, reciprocity, with feathers. So peace pipe, and you've got wings, you can use them. God, rice has been coming through heaps for me, nourishment. And I think it's a lot to do with the harvest as well, I think. And, you know, I was listening to some thing about how, you know, how in rice fields they cover them with water and it keeps the pests away. And I think, you know, the water, like what I was talking about in the beginning, and that connection with water and the wisdom of water and the wisdom of our own emotions, which, you know, water is our authentic emotion type thing, and that connection, you know, you hold true to that. You keep your waters, you know, your waters clean, your true self. If you're in that, if you're in it, you're protected from the pests, and your crop can grow a shit ton of rice, and you know, then you're abundant. And then we've got Rose, love, 33, beautiful, and inside joke here, if you're watching cicada voice, use that cicada voice. Oh my god, shout it baby. Initiation. Yeah, what a journey. I'll leave it there. Have a good one.